It seems to me that there is a group of people who are kind of obsessed with the idea of punishing anybody who's not only making abortion illegal, but punishing those involved in an abortion. Now, they also want it punished as murder. Now, our courts are already quite overclogged, and our prisons have way too many people in them. And to have, something that is as common as abortion, if these laws were effectively enforced, they probably wouldn't be, but if they were effectively enforced, it is just about bring the criminal justice system to a halt, because there would be so many cases before the court of people charged with abortion, and there would be so many women. You'd have to build a lot of new women's prisons, and you'd have all these, and plus they also want women who have abortions to possibly face the death penalty. Okay, now, if you're absolutely obsessed with the idea of punishing those who have abortions or those who are some way involved with abortion, we could do something maybe a little less drastic than prosecuting them for murder. Okay, one thing you could consider would be community service, particularly helping poor people, helping babies, helping, children, helping mothers, this sort of thing. Another thing that would be less drastic would be, and I'm quite serious about this, for somebody to, if they didn't want to do the community service, if they wanted to get the punishment over, they could agree to a televised public spanking that would be on pay-per-view. And the money that would be raised by the spanking of the people who, women, usually women, but could be men, who were convicted of either having an abortion or promoting an abortion or performing an abortion or somehow having something to do with an abortion, the money that is raised could be used to fund a scholarship for abortion survivors. It could be used to fund more money for, to help poor children. It could be used to fund money that would be used to encourage marriage. That's one of the problems we have that leads to abortion, is the fact that fewer people are getting married. It could be used, you could use it for good things that would, help to decrease abortion. Because, a lot of people do like to watch people get spanked. And so the televised on pay-per-view, you have the televised spankings, and you use that money for a worthy cause, that actually would probably be a lot better thing than trying to build, do you really want to build new women's prisons? And in addition, the number of women who would be eligible for the death penalty, could we actually, even if you're a misogynist, okay, do you really want to live in a country in which, men outnumber women 3-1? You'd have to legalize and make common polyandry. The average man would have to share his wife with 2 or 3 other guys. It just wouldn't work. at least not in this culture. So I really think that, if you're really dead set on the idea of punishment for aborters and for people, in some way involved in an abortion, either community service or the televised public spanking, again, the person would have to agree. I would be given the choice of either community service or the televised public spanking. Those would be the best choices. And again, you take the you would take the money raised on the pay-per-view, and you would do something good for it. You could have like I said, a scholarship for abortion survivors, and other things, and maybe even send the money to a crisis